Hi everyone, and welcome back. We have a new moon actually in Libra with a solar eclipse energy. So whenever we see this sort of moon energy in Libra, it has a very powerful need for relationship and to please other people. But this time around, when I did the meditation, the word that came up was timing and synchronicity. So there's something here that we are going to be encountering during the month of October, which feels to be, yes, in the realm of relationship, but also in the realm of how time affects relationships. And it's funny because maybe I was influenced by this weekend. I went to go see an art exhibit, and the concept of the actual exhibit was about relationships. It was relationships with parents or intimate relationships, etc. And it was about how over time there is this probability of the relationship staying stagnant and not moving forward or combusting because there's nowhere else for the energy of the relationship to move towards, right? So perhaps I was influenced in my meditation with this recent art exhibit, but it was very clear that timing and synchronicity was influencing this particular new moon in Libra. And again, it almost felt like, what will it take for us to be secure, right? Secure from a global perspective, right? Meaning we want peace. What is that relationship going to be like? In order for us to acquire peace amongst ourselves, even with our intimate relationship with ourselves, what's it going to take? And I think the guidance is allow time and synchronicity and foresight to be an active participant in our relationships, whether that be in a relationship with ourselves, relationship with others, relationship with nations globally, right? So I almost feel like time is going to be nourishing our peace and our beauty, which are, aspects of Libra, and certainly of the Libra moon. One thing that we do know about Libra is that it's influenced, or the ruling planet is Venus, and Venus is a planet that symbolizes heart, love, attraction, and of course relationships. And Venus also represents this expression of love to the world, right? To the world. But there's a timing issue that I felt with the meditation that it was coming in addition to the fact that we have a solar eclipse with this particular new moon. And so when we're dealing with the solar eclipse, we will notice that we have less energy, that we're more sort of secluded, and we may have an increase of stress, right? Or tiredness and fatigue because the sun is not sort of at its fullest illumination with a solar eclipse, right? Because this time the moon is getting in between the earth and the sun. The moon, of course, symbolizing emotions, right? So there is the desire for peace, there is the desire to work on relationships, and there's still like an emotional clearing that needs to occur. And it also is intertwined with us being in a relationship with time. So this is a big theme that's kind of like coming up and is going to be sort of, I think, very much a player from now until our next engagement with eclipses, right? Because this is a solar eclipse season, and these energies of the eclipse tend to last a little bit longer, several months of this kind of energy. So just keep that in mind, that this Venus engagement, which is about beauty, peace, love, is being eclipsed for several months with the moon, which is, in my view, about these energies of emotions, and emotions that have to do with our desperation of wanting to either capture time or engage with time, perhaps in a way that's not particularly healthy. So it's really up to us to establish a healthy, peaceful relationship with time. One of the things that I always used to say, and still do say to myself whenever I see myself in a jam, is that this too shall pass. When we're in the thick of it, we feel that it's an eternal engagement that will never end. And that's not a good relationship with time. The more healthier relationship with time is to understand that time is our friend, not our enemy. And so over time, the difficult situations, the challenging aspects will pass. But we have to sort of hang on to time as our friend and not as our enemy, like, oh my God, this is never going to end. This is forever. This is never going to change. No, engage with time and have a relationship with time. I think this is a really big theme that at least is coming across through me. All right, let's go to our next slide. So as I just mentioned, Libra's ruling planet is Venus. And when we're talking about Libra, we're talking about energies that are very sociable, peaceful, understanding, kind, and diplomatic. And one of its more challenging aspects is that the Libra energy can be indecisive and perhaps even complex and impatient. And again, these are the elements that I feel are being sort of sewn in with our prompt to have a relationship with time. And so its ruling planet is Venus, because Venus rules this engagement of love and beauty. And for obvious reasons, then this particular sign is ruled by not only Venus, but the chakra system is the heart field. It's the heart chakra. In order for us to get to this clearing of the heart, we must have a solid foundation and be of clear mind, both from the crown chakra all the way down to the root chakra. So whenever I'm dealing with the heart field, even though the primary focus here is the heart chakra, I would pose that with this particular sign, it's really the entire chakra system is activated with Libra, with the energy of Libra. So that's what I've got to say. And let's go next to the tarot field. Let's see what's going on there. So in the world of tarot, there is only one card that represents Libra, the zodiac sign of Libra, and that's the Justice card. However, Venus influences two other cards in tarot, and that is the Empress and the Hierophant, which is the zodiac signs of Taurus is represented by by both the Empress and the Hierophant. So there is an engagement here either with the body, right? Or just Earth itself. And I feel like October, because we're entering this new moon with Libra, I feel like October may be quite intense because these are heavy hitters when we're talking about Justice, the Empress, and the Hierophant. Justice is about when we look at the tarot card of Justice, it's about karmic justice. It's about the consequences of our actions. At its more challenging, it is about injustice and retribution and dishonesty, right? So these are big themes that are coming up. When we're looking at the Empress, we're looking at motherhood and fertility, these issues again coming up about women, certainly here in the United States, and femininity. And, that seems to be perhaps creeping up again. And on its more challenging side, the Empress represents infertility or insecurity, or in my view, because I mentioned body before, lack of control of the body, right? And disharmony with the body. I hope that there's, that everybody is safe and there's no additional weirdness going on globally, but the body is an image that's coming to me right now. And then we have the Hierophant. When we speak of the Hierophant, we are speaking of traditional institutions, and perhaps even religious institutions, right? So that the Hierophant is here as a representation of what is being spoken. This is the throat chakra activation, versus the Empress was about the feeling nature. This Hierophant is about the thought nature. What are we thinking? What's the conventional belief system that we are up against? And then in its more challenging placement, the Hierophant can be about these unconventional relationships and non-conformity, right? Because in its more in its more direct interpretation, the Hierophant is about tradition. So in its more quote-unquote challenging, it's about unconventionalities, right? So these are the big players and the big major arcanas that are coming into play, primarily because Venus is influencing all of these major arcana. So I'm bringing them in because I'm feeling the pull to do so. And I feel like October is going to involve a lot of us having to, again, ground with our relationship with time and know that whatever arises that is challenging, it will pass. It will pass. So let us not get entangled with the false belief system that this is how it's going to be and we're screwed forever. No, things will pass, and there might be more of an impetus for us to be more active in a different level before the end of the year, but we shall see. For now, we've got Justice in the mix here with the Empress and the Hierophant, and all of these major arcanas are energies that are here to communicate something to us, to communicate that equilibrium must be part of our engagement, to communicate that holding ourselves to ethical standards and traditions is a must, and to communicate that we must also pay attention to the planet. That's the Empress energy kind of coming in really strong. Like, what is our communication and our relationship with the planet? All right, let's move on to the next slide. So for those of you that are journaling, new moons are about new beginnings, and it's a perfect time normally to start something new. But with the solar eclipse, I wouldn't necessarily put something new in the mix here. Instead, I invite you and encourage you to write about what your relationship with time is. And I really encourage everyone to just be in these moments of stillness and meditation, of prayer work. We certainly need that in the world. And again, when we're dealing with the eclipses, I really honor the engagement of that darkness kind of coming over the sun and the illumination of the brightness on earth, right? So you be the brightness, you be the light, you be the illumination point on earth. That's what I strongly encourage. For those of you that love affirmations, if I pull, and I'm only going to be pulling one card when I do the tarot reading, but if I pull, let's say the Justice, you can say something like, what I receive is what I give. That's a good meditation. If I pull the Empress, you can say something like, abundance is unlimited. Abundance is unlimited. And again, that's kind of like activating this idea of time kind of coming into play here. And if I pull the Hierophant for you, you can say something like, I don't know, I choose the tradition that is most loving to me. I choose the tradition that is most loving to me. And that again is bringing in that Venus energy and Libra energy together with the Hierophant. All right, let's get to our video. All right, let's get to our reading. So who are the players? We've got the planet Venus. We've got a new moon in Libra. And we've got a solar eclipse happening here. All right, so that's what's going on. Just showing you that visual for a second. Put that there. And then we've got Justice, which is the ruler of, or rather that Libra rules justice. We've got the Empress, and we've got the Hierophant. And I am using this card deck, the Baroque card deck. It's a little dark, but I love the gold. And we're also using the Arc-en-Ciel Tarot deck. Again, I wanted to bring in the gold because we're having that solar eclipse. So just energetically bringing in the gold, bringing in the light, bringing in that energy. But the Baroque card decks are a little, let me just put the volume up. They're a little dark visually, but we'll make it happen. All right, let's begin as always with, and let me take a little sip of tea with Aries. So Aries, we've got the Strength card. Well, this isn't dark after I said that. This is a beautiful card. I hope the glare is not getting in the way there. This is the Strength card. So I'm immediately pulled into Justice here for you. Okay, and let's see what the other card is. Envisioning Wisdom. So this is the King of Wands. So I'm just going to put this here so I can hold tell you the story here of what's going on. So whenever we have the Strength card, this is about taming some wildness within ourselves, but we have a lot of roses with this particular image. Hope you guys can see that. Maybe I'll just hold it. With this particular image, and that is of course very Venusian here. So when we're dealing with the Justice card, I feel that it's very much about truth and fairness coming into play with your own strength. And when we see the envisioned wisdom here from the King, it's almost like whatever is happening during this time period, where this particular eclipse will still be influencing for you, it has to do with fairness. It has to do with reaping the rewards that you've already had, about taming some wild aspect of yourself regarding work, regarding your job, regarding what you feel passionate about. So that's a beautiful reading. Fairness is what's really kind of speaking to me with Aries. Love it. Next we have, and I'll try to make these quick, guys. I know they usually go longer, but we do have 3 major arcana cards here. So next we have Taurus. Taurus, we have the Tower moment. Dun dun dun. I was attracted here to the Hierophant. So let's just talk about that. And I hope you see that, the Tower moment. These cards are amazing. They feel amazing. I highly recommend the Baroque cards. And Death. So yeah, there is clearly, right, you could see the message immediately. There's a death or a release or a letting go of something that for you speaks to the tradition, speaks to conformity perhaps. This idea of being, staying in this middle line of tradition simply because you are conforming to that energy. This is really whatever's happening. It's like, no, we're going to break that apart. It's going to be quick. There's going to be a renewal here. We're not going to conform. We're not going to settle. We're going to restart our foundations. That's what you've got, Taurus, coming for this eclipse season for you. That was a pretty direct energy that I felt on that one. Next we have beautiful Gemini. What do we have, Gemini? We've got the 5 of Wands energy here. And normally the 5 of Wands is, and I'm being drawn to the Empress. Normally the 5 of Wands, it's like this kind of like strife. But this one doesn't feel like a strife. It feels like a potential collaboration here going on. And I'm being pulled to this energy here, and let's see what's going on. Yeah, it felt money. It felt like earth. It felt like bringing in some earned achievements here, but you're collaborating with others. My suggestion is that you not think of this collaboration in a very linear fashion. Think of it as potentially like this person's going to do that aspect, this person's going to do that aspect. It feels not necessarily one person doing it, but a collaboration. Especially with the 6 of Pentacles, this is a collaborative engagement going on. So whatever's happening, it does have to do with money. It does have to do with expanding some sort of empire. And it is involving other people that are collaborating with you on this creative engagement, this creative journey. Nice. Next we have Cancer moon babies. And again, I didn't mention it before, but I am focusing on the zodiacal moon signs, but you can look at your ascendant, you can look at your sun sign and see what story is developing for you there. So we've got the 8 of, sorry about that. Let me just move this up. We've got the 8 of Wands. I'm being drawn here to the Justice card for you Cancer babies, Cancer moon signs, and we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So there's something here coming pretty quickly for you with this new moon in Libra eclipse season, where it's moving pretty quickly. I would suggest that you look at contracts very carefully, that you look at what is the again, when we're dealing with the Justice card, what is the truth of the matter? And it is about a new business project or new business proposition for you kind of coming into play. It doesn't feel body here because I mentioned contract. It feels like either a business agreement or a business engagement. It's going to come really quickly. Just make sure that you kind of like look at the details of the contract and or the written agreement or what's going on in writing. That's what's coming through. But it's something that's going to move pretty quickly. It has the potentiality of giving you a lot of money, and it is a new project. But you have to first rely on yourself and be very vigilant is the word that's coming through. Vigilant. And next we have Leo Moon babies. What do we have here? Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords, when you look at that card traditionally, it's like someone, and I'm being drawn here to the Justice card, someone either taking something that doesn't belong to them or an idea that, you know, is being sort of like just taken, right? That's what the Seven of Swords is. When you have that seven, though, it's about having faith that what's yours cannot be taken away. Yeah, this is another seven a six of swords engagement. Tongue twister here. It was a swords engagement. So we have a lot of swords energy here. This is about an idea that you had, that you were putting forward. You feel a little slighted. Definitely call in justice to take care of that energy, to take care of what was taken from you. But know that you have more, that you have more ideas in the bag that are waiting to be that are waiting to land, right? That are waiting to land. So let this go. Let this past energy go. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it away. Trust, right? This is the timing factor literally coming in. It didn't come in with the other ones, but this is trust that time will take care of that situation and move on. Reinforce what you already possess, and that's already yours. And these are actually really high energy ideas coming through. Next we have Libra. It's your moon. Let's see what's going on here. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Working hard. I'm being drawn to the Empress. Working hard for what you've got. Sometimes there's a little bit of lethargic energy with that Seven of Pentacles. And we've got discernment, the Hanged Man, two major arcanas here. So it's important for you to, if you're feeling that stagnant energy, if you're feeling that, oh my God, I'm working so hard, but nothing is happening, right? What's happening with the creativity, with the fertility of this? Start looking at things differently. Turn things around. Be discerning about what you're seeding into the world, and even what you're reaping, right? What you're pulling out of what you're creating. Look at it from a different perspective, because if you have the Empress in the mix here, the possibility of this growing is almost guaranteed. But we can't engage it with this lethargic feeling. We have to then look at things differently to see how I'm going to maintain, right? Maintain this energy of the Empress, which is always growing, always fruitful, always in that space of creativity, beauty, and fertility. Sorry, and that was not Libra, that was Virgo. Apologies. That was the Virgo energy. This one is the Libra energy. And we've got the King of Pentacles. Well, I'm still, with the King of Pentacles, I'm definitely being drawn to the Empress. And this is making me feel like sorry, I keep forgetting my own card. This is making me feel like you are perhaps entering into a partnership with someone dealing with a creative project. And we've got this, you have to have faith that the partner that's coming to assist you with your creative engagement with your world, right, is on the same page with you and has the same belief and structure with you. A little bit here of the Hierophant coming in, but it's major. The majority of the energy that I'm feeling is this Empress energy. But there is somebody here with money kind of coming in to assist you with this creative project, and or pay attention to your body. Pay attention to your body here, because it is affecting your creative engagements. That's the energy coming through for the eclipse season for Libra. Excuse me. Next, we have the Scorpio moons, and we've got the Three of Cups. There's a celebratory engagement here that's going on, celebration, coming, also being drawn to the Empress, primarily because of the number 3. I was drawn to the Empress. So there is a celebratory communication coming through for you during this eclipse season. And look at that. We've got the Hierophant in the mix. Wow, Scorpio. So whatever's happening for you during this eclipse season, you've got 2 of the major arcanas that are at play during this very season. So look at tradition, look at religious institutions here. How is it influencing you? And also the seeker. So look at the guidance that the elders have in your life for you, respecting this communication. And there is a celebration here having to do with some sort of either creative project or some sort of written thing going on. Perhaps it's even a spiritual writing. Really wasn't expecting that, but it seems pretty potent for those of you with a moon in Scorpio. Moon in Sagittarius, baby. What do we have? 5 of Cups. So this is feeling like defeat a little bit here with the emotions. This is feeling like, oh, I didn't get what I want. And you're not even paying attention to the possibilities that there are other options here. And this has to do with relationship. This has to do with the truth of the relationship you are in. This could be either an intimate, it felt intimate, but this could be about an intimate relationship. This could be about your relationship with others, but it is about relationship and you're seeking truth. So there's a lot of truth being revealed to you, Moon in Sagittarius individuals, having to do with your relationships. So again, you're triggering, and it seems potent because you're triggering this energy of relationship of the Libra engagement. If you want that emotional connection, right? If you want that emotional connection, you have to be true to yourself. And you have to realize that sometimes when it comes to relationships, you are a little bit stubborn and you want what you want versus perhaps compromising a little bit on that. Next, we have the Capricorn moon, babies. We've got the Ace of Swords. Obviously, I'm being drawn. I say obviously because the, the Justice card out of all of these is the only one that has the sword. So when we have a very strong Ace energy like this, a new idea coming forward, I was drawn to the Justice. I just wanted to explain that because this is about a new idea. This is about a new beginning here for those of you with a moon in Capricorn. And I would say that right now with this new idea, be conservative. Don't necessarily communicate to everyone this new idea because you're still getting insight. You're still processing it. There's an inclination to want to share it with the world, but you're being guided here to preserve it a little bit, save a little bit, marinate on this idea first, and then go out into the world and share it. Very direct energy there. Next we have the Aquarius moon, babies, and we've got death. You're letting something go. You're releasing something. You are, I'm being drawn to this card because of that sword. You're letting something go. It might actually involve something legal, right? Perhaps you got yourself into a contract that you didn't even realize was holding you back on something, either a production or something that was holding you back. So the death is coming to really illuminate. When the death card is in the mix here, we want to be careful not to do too much activity. And it's important for you to be in the space of receptivity, be in the space of allowing and acknowledging your accomplishments, but also being careful here that in order to move on, I need to acknowledge things that didn't work out, and I need to release things that are no longer of service. It's a really intense death card. Just, oh, there you go. So death, this is not literal death, especially with the wand's energy here. This is literally, in order for you to move forward, I have to let go of something that's no longer of service to me, and do it swiftly, but do it justly and do it fairly. Last and never least, we have the moon in Pisces. Oh, this is about juggling your finances. This is about, I'm being drawn here to the Empress. This is about juggling your finances and juggling your, even juggling your health issues, right? Your health issues. So that's what's happening for this season of. So we've got two energies here. So this is love, peace, and happiness. This can also be strife, right? So strife with yourself. But this is peace of mind. So we're going to go with that energy of peace. And perhaps even pulled a little bit over to the justice side here by this equilibrium, right? The balance here that's going on. I probably would say this is more dominant at this point, having gotten the energy of these cards. So this is perhaps the more dominant of being having an equilibrium between the health of your mind, body, and soul is literally what just came out here, because you've got a very strong 2 energy here, but it's a 2 having to do with your own mindset and your own body, which means also your own finances. Okay? So that's the reading. This is the reading for the new moon in Libra, solar eclipse energy. Overall, it seems really like a good sort of energy for the group of people that are watching this. And from a collective perspective, as I expressed before, we're dealing with justice, earth energy, and government and or traditional engagement. So we'll see what happens here. But Venus is a benevolent planet. She tends to bring in, going back to that Piscean energy, she tends to bring in the peace. So let's all hope and pray that that indeed is the case with these hot pocket areas on Earth, and also within our own collective and our own engagement. Again, remember, that word that came through was timing. So synchronicity and timing. Allow these things to marinate before you go out and do like an active driven engagement. Okay. Happy new moon, everyone. Bye.